VrChat on Android is a very interesting experience. I didn't expect it to hold up as well as it did. A bit lamer. From the couple worlds I tested, it wasn't bad. It ran pretty good. But on the first initial startup, there wasn't any sound. I don't know why. Maybe it was just because it was the first time I started it. But I tried messing with it a couple of times. It didn't really seem to get anywhere. The FPS was good. It was all smooth. I tried out a few different worlds. They all look good.
Oh my god.
It's a bit rough around the edges. I'd say a little bit more than desktop. But if you're already used to desktop, then it shouldn't be an issue. Now, if you play VR exclusively, then it might feel a bit awkward or clunky, and it does, but if you strictly want to play VrChat, then it's not that bad. At first, I went to Chess World, and I watched how people would play chess games against each other, just to get a feel of how things would work, how you would move around and whatnot. And for the most part, it acts like any other game of this nature. It has sort of like emulators, actually, where there would be fixed control buttons on the screen, and you could move by touching the screen and swiping. It's really interesting. Now, I didn't stay long enough to partake in a chess match because I feel like that'd be a disaster, but I moved on. And I went to a mini golf world. Mini golf, it wasn't bad. I quite enjoyed it. If you're planning to just do this for like a little recreational, I'm gonna waste time. I'm gonna, like if you're on the subway, or you're at McDonald's, or you're out in public and you want to waste a couple minutes. I mean, I guess it'd be a little bit weird in my opinion, but if you could find a world that was just a little time waster, then I don't see why not. It seems good for that reason. Now, if you're going to take this seriously, I would say don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to find an avatar, or hook up with some friends and say, hey, what's going on? You have a couple of desktop avatars you can use. That was another thing, actually. I went to an avatar world, and I tried to use a lot of my avatars, only to find out that the majority of them are PC only. So, if you plan to be an avid user of the mobile space, you're going to have to get used to that, and you're going to have to find avatars that are mobile friendly, which I don't imagine there's very much of, but I haven't looked into that. For now, though, I just settled with the default avatar, and I played mini golf for a little bit. I wish I could talk to you about audio or how sound works. I'm sure it works fine, but for all intents and purposes here, I didn't actually catch audio, however frustrating it may be. However, it looks and plays good, which I suppose is the main point here. If I were to actually do this, then I would care about the audio, but I don't really care that much about the audio right now. If I wanted to get that in depth and talk to someone over Android VrChat, then I would. I could see it as very casual. If you don't want to get into your VR gear and set everything up, and oh my god, it's a just whip out your phone and hey, another reason why Android's better. You know what I mean? The interactability, though, it really is. It was great. 60 FPS, smooth, nothing to complain about. You would have to get used to the clunkiness of it. Would it be accurate to say it's a total failure? No. It has some redeeming qualities. It is still VrChat, of course. Now, does that mean it's totally out of this world exceptional? I'd say it's pretty good. Yeah. If you have a place you can charge next to, like a wall outlet or something, and you can just keep going. Yeah. I'd say, yeah, if you want to play indefinitely or something, if you want to be like one of those losers that stare at a mirror for hours on end, And yeah, this is it for you, man. That's your ticket, man. Yeah. I haven't tested this out on multiple different devices, but I'm sure it runs well and has a general all around sense of compatibility. Whenever I downloaded it, it was a little over 200 megabytes, but I don't think that's really a concern for the majority of us in 2024. If 200 megabytes is a concern, then you probably shouldn't be trying to play VrChat. Whenever you first load everything up, it wants your email and password, sign in just like normal. So everything's like usual, you know. Is it fun? I would say so to a certain degree. After a while, the controls and the layout will get to you a little bit. Of course, this would vary from person to person, but for me personally, I could only take this for so long before I had to do something else, which is not stare at the cluttered screen or try to navigate my way around, or just have a headache from it all. Really, to be honest, is it nice for a pinch if your headset dies or you want to lay down and relax or you want to watch a movie in VR? Yeah, but otherwise, I can't say so because that's just crazy, man. Now, if you have some lighthearted party games with your friends, Cards Against Humanity, for example, where you just sit at a podium the whole time, then go for it. Absolutely, that's have a blast, dude. Get an avatar where nobody can tell whether you're VR or desktop, and there's no difference. You know, if you don't have an actual mic or something, and you're just talking from your phone speaker, then someone would probably be able to tell if they know what to listen to and whatnot. But otherwise, you'd basically be indecipherable unless there's something. Well, there is the indicator next to your username that says whether or not you play on Android, so there's that too. But that reminds me, actually, I did see a couple people playing Among Us on Android, so that's a prime example right there. I would say it's a great way for VRChat to make itself known to a wider audience, to branch out to a larger area, to have more of an impact and not be in such a niche area of gaming like VR is, because it still is a little bit with the Meta Quest. I mean, that's helping a good bit with the aggressive price and everything, but I would say VR is still not not very big in gaming. So with this little move that VRChat did, I would say it definitely helps a little because then you don't need to pay all that money for a headset, base stations, a very good PC for VR in the first place. If you went and spent all this money only to not be able to run it, you know, I would say it's good for casual fun. It opens it up to a wider audience. There's mobile worlds out there. I don't think there's every world out there that you can go to. I might be wrong, but I suppose we'll see. We'll have a lot of updates and bug fixes and everything. We'll see about that too, but I don't see why it wouldn't. VRChat tends to get pretty good updates, and the fact that they didn't restrict it to VRChat Plus users, that's nice too. You don't have to pay for a subscription to download the Android app. That's nice. They probably knew what they were doing and wanted to have a bigger audience because the more people you have, the higher the likelihood that they will buy something from you, support you, etc. Is it a good port? So far, yes, I would say so.